This is the Papala Lele Internship with Pua Noʻeau.
Every day we have a different aina pathway that we explore.
On Mondays, we focus on mala and lo'i. Tuesdays, we focus on horticulture up at Limahuli Valley.
And then certain days we hike up into the valley, into Lower Preserve, and we pull out invasives and plant native plants. Certain days we have set aside for exploring the kai and like counting fish and looking at the limu and learning the different limu types.
And on Fridays, we are in the classroom working on our college side of the internship.
We've been exposed to so many opportunities and to new people, making connections in Ha'ena.
Awesome place, awesome kumu, awesome people. Yeah, many opportunities to learn and pick up different things that we can take on into the future.
The kai, we learned about the vai, we learned about different plants, and we learned about different plants in the reserve, how that works, how different plants kind of thrive off of different environments.
I also doing this internship, it got me so much more interested in lo'i. Next summer, I think I want to start helping my papa.
We saw how different types of soil work inside, how different plants kind of grow in different environments, different soil, different nutrients, organic matter matters. We kind of just learned about the basics of how to run a lo'i, the relationships you have to gain to kind of continue running the lo'i, and how it's just one big community.
Working in the lo'i and listening to people like Uncle Eric and Uncle Mikey who they care so much, and listening to them talk about how much a lo'i can impact the ahupua'a and the people and impact so many different ways, and it constantly made me think that our kupuna are genius.
A lot of things I've learned was how to do soil testing. That was a lot of fun. I also learned, this might seem weird, but I've always grew uala, and I never knew that you're not supposed to let it spread out, and it actually produces more uala if you bunch it up all on top, and then it'll focus on the uala instead of making more leaves. I actually did that in my own garden right up, literally the next day after I learned that.
For me, it's been learning how to do the GPS system for plant collections, how to collect those plants. It's important to keep records of certain plant collections because of the crossbreeding, and if certain collections do better than others, you want to be able to figure out why. It's just good for record keeping. Some
of the most important things I learned were just the names of plants that I've never actually been able to see in real life that are very endangered, that I've only heard about or read about in school, and they are very important for our culture, and I think it's so great that they are keeping them safe and providing them an amazing home.
A really memorable moment for me was also going into Lower Preserve. We went so far up the valley, and I'm not really a hiker, so this has also been a good experience because now I want to get more into hiking. As we ascended more, it became less invasives and more native plants. Just, you have to get more careful walking because, it's not just an invasive plant you're stepping on, maybe a native. So you just get more conscious, and that also really, I've never really gone on a walk before and just really took in all of my surroundings. It's also an important thing, to just be aware of your surroundings for safety purposes, but also for educational, because there were plants that we all saw that we've never had the chance to see. We've only read about it in textbooks, and I've taken so many classes at my school, and I've always thought, wow, it's so cool, but there's only it's only endemic to this one area. I only thought I'd ever hear about it, but this really gave me the opportunity, all of us, to actually see it. So I felt like I was fangirling over the plants, like the olana, the papala, and also connecting it to the stories.
Today we did stream testing with the Lower Preserve team. We used the kits, took the water samples, and I think that was an important one because although streams may look healthy, it's always good to be able to know the scientific part of it. It's a good blend of, I guess, indigenous knowledge with the Western science.
I think that traditional knowledge and scientific knowledge can coexist. We see it in the CBSFA, how that the community created laws based on ʻike kupuna and needed Western knowledge to back it up. So that's definitely one of many examples of combining ʻike kupuna and Western knowledge together.
Understanding how interconnected ʻike kupuna is in scientific knowledge, because ʻike kupuna and traditional knowledge is scientific knowledge, just expressed in a different form, or it is like taught by different people. And I think that they are kind of one when you think about it holistically. I just think that both are essential.
In class on Fridays, we learn the difference between observational data and how that kind of aligns with ʻike kupuna, and quantitative data, which aligns with Western and scientific knowledge. With quantitative data, it's more of the numbers and the measurements, but ʻike kupuna taps into another realm of, spirituality and really maka'ala and observing the things around us and how everything coexists. I think one thing in our kaide that really stood out to me was working with the kupuna who work specifically with limu. It was great to go out on the papa with them and learn, because they're experts in the limu field, and they have so much to offer and so much to share with their kaiāulu.
One thing that stood out to me for the Makai section of this program was learning about the CBSFA, how it showcases that the community can really come together and achieve a goal that they want, and especially for working with the state and having to overcome barriers and obstacles in their journey, but still being able to achieve that end journey of having a healthy ecosystem in the ocean again. There's only so much documentation of the reefs over the past years, and that kupuna knowledge kind of filled in the blanks. And I think the working together with kupuna and the state and the community, and it all comes together into a really ideal situation for haʻena. And I think talking with Uncle Wally was one of the limu experts that came, and just hearing kind of the emotion in his voice when he was talking about those who have passed on, and it kind of reinforced this idea in me that we really need to absorb all this knowledge that they have, because they're just have so much of it and they're so eager to share it with others.
I think it's really important to continue to have programs like this for the community, especially for young adults, like teenagers such as us, entering either college or the workforce, because it also helps us gain a better knowledge of what we want to do.
And I think having the opportunity to work with these different people from different regions of this ahupua'a has strengthened that connection for me to mo'olelo and to understanding it, so in the future I can continue its legacy.
I think that being here, I've learned so much more than I ever had. Here, I'm learning about things that I care for and want to learn more about.
That's one of the things that gets me excited for college, and this program really helps me pick what I want to do for college and where I want to take the rest of my learning.
Being here is hands-on, which helps so much. I need to be doing it, to practice it, to be able to actually understand. And yeah, I think that's what makes this internship so special, is that yeah, we do a project, but that's because we learn so much in the field. It's we have a hard time even coming up with what we want to do, because there's so much that we want to do, and there's so much that we want to learn about, and so many things that we have learned about.
A lot of what was important to me during this program was being able to interact with the people who live and work here, being able to interact with the aina itself. Especially in a world today where a lot of stuff is digitized and you see it in pictures and you can read about it online, it's important to be able to go to these places yourself and not only go to them, but you'll be able to give back to the place that you're seeing.
If you're like interested in Hawaiian culture and just learning more about the place that you live, I think that this is great. It's a great opportunity.
Everything was a surprise every day in the best way possible. And we learn new things every day, and I feel like my mind now is so full of knowledge that I'm so happy to share with others and to also recommend this program because it really did change my life. And as I go to college in the fall, this program, I'm going to think about it and it's going to ground me and push me forward even in the hardest times of my studies to pursue conservation and to come back to Kauaʻi and serve this community who has served us all so well.
I've just had an amazing time, and I think this is like the best way I could ever spend my summer, and hopefully be able to reconnect with them in the future.
Papala Lele is the best ever. I had so much fun.
I want to thank Auntie Malia. I have never done an internship before. But then Auntie Malia convinced me, and I could not be more grateful to her. The staff here is also pretty great. Just everybody here is just so kind, and I love their palina tu'aina. How happy they are to just be here, to work here, how happy they are to teach us, and I could not be more grateful for that.
Talking about things that they love, and you can tell that all the people around here, they have so much purpose, and seeing them, I think, inspires me to want to do more.
Mahalo to everybody, all the community members, all the partnerships.
Mahalo to everyone who made this program possible.
Special mahalo to Uncle Eric, Uncle Mikey, Uncle Randy, Brendan, and Laura, Delilah, the Gengi, Kumukama, Chihu, really like, Kumukono, shout out, Chihu, Auntie Malia, of course, Auntie Anuhea, love you.
Shoots.
Peace out, signing out.